At 5:20 p.m., all structural elements inside Building 7 simultaneously fail, and it collapses symmetrically, imploding into a pile of rubble. This building had 81 columns, 24 core and 57 perimeter, running from the basement to the roof. For the building to have collapsed the way it did, all 81 of these columns had to collapse simultaneously. Could fires on a few floors have heated up all these columns to the breaking point at the same time? Let's ask the 9/11 Commission.
Governor King, may I ask another question, please? At 5:20 p.m. on September 11th, World Trade Center building number 7, 47-story modern frame steel skyscraper that no plane hit, collapsed into a neat little pile onto itself and exhibiting all the characteristics of controlled demolition. FEMA, in their investigation, didn't say that. They said that fire must have knocked it down, but they couldn't figure out how. Video evidence shows what appears to be explosive squids going up the side of the building from south to north or from bottom to top as the building collapsed. There was molten metal found in the basement of that building at temperatures that exceeded anything a normal fire could cause. With all the confusion about what happened to Building 7, why is there not a word about the collapse of that building in the 911 Commission report?
We didn't see any evidence of the kind of thing you're talking about. We thought that was part of the tragedy of 9/11. That building collapsed later on. There was not a loss of life in that building, and it was not part of our report.
Not part of the report. Thanks.
Governor? So for the 9/11 Commission to totally ignore that, I think is unconscionable and shows that they did not do a thorough job.
Well, then do the research.
I did the research.
The number of omissions is staggering. For example, they begin the book with a discussion of the hijackers, giving the same 19 that have been named from the beginning. They fail to point out that 6 of those hijackers have shown up alive. They hardly discuss the World Trade Center collapses. They do not discuss the fact that fire has never brought down a high-rise steel frame building. They do not discuss the fact that the collapses had 10 characteristics that are common to controlled demolitions. They do not even mention the collapse of building number 7 with regard to the claim that we were hunting bin Laden prior to 9/11. The Commission fails to mention that he reportedly showed up in July before 9/11 in a hospital in Dubai, where he was treated by an American doctor, visited by the local CIA agent and the head of Saudi intelligence. It ignores the Project for the New American Century, formed by many members that are now part of the Bush administration, with its explosive statement that a new Pearl Harbor would be very helpful.
Well, then do the research.
I did the research. I've done a lot of reading on this. I've read the report. Have you read the report?
If you would have...
No, you didn't.
If you would have let that engineer talk...
No, I'm listening to you. This is your shot. This is your shot. I don't want your website. I don't want your websites. I want your opinion, and you're not giving it. You're as bad as he is.
Well, and then you say you don't have any evidence. He's trying to give you the evidence.
Okay, good talking to you. Another one bites the dust. For Friday, we're here to talk, and I don't want to get bogged down in these pedantic talking point discussions about 9/11 being an inside job in the Bilderberg Group. These topics, frankly, are better suited elsewhere.
There's very important information that needs to get out, and I'm coming to you as an investigative journalist to try to get this information out. I'm asking you if there's a time or place that we can talk about this.
I can't talk with you right now because I'm working.
Oh, that's fine.
You're cutting me off. I'm sorry.
Can we talk at another time?
Whole show.
Can we make an appointment, me and you?
We don't make an appointment on the show.
Is there any way I can talk to you? Sure. This information is important. So you refuse. You're refusing to talk to me about this information is what you're saying. Steve, all I care about is you. All I care about is our country. You won't talk to me about that, Steve.
because we got a high energy show here, and most people find these topics to be dull. And whether you like it or not, that's pretty much where it's at. That's what people say. That's what I'm hearing on my Facebook page. So I don't mean to hurt your feelings, and this is not a mainstream media conspiracy to silence you. It's just that we got a lot of energy going on this show. There's a lot to talk about, and I don't want the show to get bogged down with these flatline, dogmatic denials and conspiracies. Believe or disbelieve whatever you want to believe. But my buddy Joe Grumbless just put on the Facebook page, Corbett, forget the conspiracy theorist calls. We really don't want to hear it. If it weren't 9/11, it would be something else to these people. Please move on. So we're moving on.
I'm in Central California.
Where?
About an hour east of San Francisco.
Where?
Manteca, California.
Yeah, that's not Central Coast, though. That's Northern California.
Okay. Well, I was just going to ask if you'd ever heard of Operation Northwoods.
You tell me about it. You're the guy calling with your opinion.
All right. It's a plan that was...
we don't know what you're talking about. What are you talking about?
It was released by the government in the 60s, talking about how the government plans to crash airplanes into buildings and blame it on our enemies, like the Cubans, kind of like how happened on 9/11. And did you know that at least 5 out of all the hijackers on 9/11 trained at U.S. military bases?
You got any Love and Spoonful albums is what I want to know. Hello?
Yeah.
You got any Love and Spoonful albums?
No.
Check into the Love and Spoonful. You'll be amazed at who they're involved with, and you probably don't want to know. John Sebastian, that's the code word. That's all I got to tell you. Let's go to a break. Let's talk to Jim in Scranton. Go ahead, Jim. Are you involved in your community?
I am, and I'll tell you, that's the first time that I've listened to your show, and I agree exactly with what you just said, and fully support it.
Go ahead.
All right, so what I wanted to discuss, though, was something pretty specific with you regarding 9/11. Okay, and that's the rapid symmetrical collapse of the building number 7, the third building that fell that day.
Now, let me ask you a question, man.
Yeah.
I mean, people can go to websites all over the place.
Sure.
And they can get the same rhetoric that you want to expound here today.
Okay, I have a degree in architecture as well.
Well, I'm happy you have a degree.
Does that count for anything?
So you're going to talk over me? You're going to do exactly?
No, sir. I thought you were just doing that to me. Go ahead.
You're going to do exactly what gives people who are interested in your topic a bad reputation?
No, sir.
If you can't have a civil, decent conversation, I don't care what degree you have. You're rude and you're missing the point. So let me ask you another question.
You just jumped in. I'm sorry. Go ahead, please.
What I'm asking you is, after everything that we just talked about, do you live in Scranton?
I currently do, yes. I lived in New York City and Philadelphia for 4 years and just moved back.
And what do you do here? You're an architect?
No, sir. I work in construction management.
Okay. You use your architectural knowledge in your job?
Daily.
Okay. Why are you obsessed with 9/11?
Why would you assume that
I'm asking you. Tell me you are or you're not.
I'm not obsessed.
Because
for the reasons you just stated, I'm very active politically.
Go ahead. What do you do? How active are you politically? What's your activity?